Okay guys, so my papaya tree here, these papayas are not coming to fruit. They're actually falling off. So it seems as if the female is not getting pollinated. So I'm going to attempt to hand pollinate the female flowers of the male. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing any male flower right now that is open. So usually the male flower comes up next to the female. But right now it's closed. Like I see one next to it here, but that is closed. So I have to keep my eye open. I'll have to come out here and check so that I can get it to bear fruit, because right now it's just it will reach like this and then it will drop off. So it seems as if I'm going to have to hand pollinate it. But again, that has to be done in the early process. So I have to make sure I keep my eye open for when I see this, the female flower opens and the male flower, remove the petals from the male flower and insert the pollen into the female flower, and hopefully starts to bear fruit. Now, this papaya tree, as you can see, is getting tall, and I don't want it to get extremely tall because then I won't be able to pick the fruit. So what I'm going to do, and I hope this works, I'm going to cut off the crown here so that it doesn't grow any taller and it stays this height so that I can reach the fruit. So I'm going to give that a try. Hopefully it does work, and I will keep you posted as to whether my tree died or not. Hopefully it doesn't die, but I just don't want it to keep on going tall, otherwise then I will never be able to access the fruit. So I'm gonna get a knife and cut off the crown. Okay guys, so I'm gonna cut off the crown here, and this is to prevent the tree from getting too tall. Let's see if I can do that. If I can get it. It's kind of hard to get it, but I don't want the tree to get too tall because then I won't be able to reach the papayas. So that's why I'm cutting off the crown. So this is the crown here, right? Okay guys, as you can see, my tomatoes have germinated. And so I'm getting baby tomatoes coming up. Okay guys, I just wanted to show you the benefit of hand pollinating your tomato flowers. So as you guys have seen in my videos that I hand pollinate these, and look at it, you already have fruit on them. So remember what I showed you, all I do is do this. So I'm mimicking what pollinators do when they come to the flower. They vibrate the flower and that causes the pollen to drop down to the front and to pollinate the flowers, and then you get fruit on it. Now, As I had mentioned to you in I think one of my videos on growing tomatoes, for ideal yield, or in terms of size of your tomatoes, each cluster you want no more than 4 on a particular cluster. So like for example this one, I already have 4 here, 1 2 3 4. So I will snip off actually this one here, this piece here, these two. I'm going to snip off these two, and I'm only going to maintain 4, and that way I can ensure that the food that I do get is nice and big and healthy, right? So for each cluster, just keep 4 tomatoes. So like this one is ideal. This one has 1 2 3 4, so that's good. Okay, so there's another one I saw here that has a cluster again. See that? So how many do we have? We have 1 2 3 4, so we have an extra one, so I will take off this extra one here. Okay, so let me just do that. Simply just clip it like that, right? So we keep 4 clusters. 4 fruit per cluster, and that is to ensure we get nice big juicy tomatoes, right? So guys, I just came out here this evening and saw that something has found my tomatoes and decided to eat my tomatoes. So nope, that can't happen. So what I did was cover my tomato trees with this net here in order to protect my tomatoes. Okay guys, so I just harvested some purslane from my garden. So I'm going to go inside and saute this with some onion and garlic. And I'm also going to pick some of my lettuce here to have for dinner tonight. So I'll pick some lettuce. I think I'll also pick some of those chives there. And I'll go across and pick some of my basil as well, and maybe some dill, and maybe some pak choy as well to have for dinner tonight. This is arugula. This is a bok choy. Take some of these young bok choy leaves. Maybe I should leave that. Okay guys, so this is my garden harvest this afternoon, and this is what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. So I have some lettuce here, some young lettuce leaves. I have some arugula. I have some sweet basil. I have a piece of dill, tomato, some pak choy, some young bok choy, and some purslane. And I am going to cut up all these things. Well, I'm going to saute this one with some onion and garlic and ginger. These I'm just going to eat raw, so I'm just going to wash it up and chip it up. And yeah, this is going to be for my dinner tonight. Okay guys, so here I have an experiment that I'm doing. I am growing this cucumber in a hydroponic setup. This method is called the cracky method, in that there's no pump or anything in here. It's just a bucket with your nutrient water, and what you have to do is leave a gap between the root, but I mean the root does have to make contact with the water, but you leave a gap so that that gap creates air, and that is how you get oxygen for the roots. Okay, so let's see how this progresses, and let's see if I have success with this cucumber growing in this hydroponic bucket system. All right, so I'll keep you guys posted as to that. Hi guys, so as you can see, I'm in my garden this morning, and if you look behind me here in my tomato trees, you see that I had to put a covering over tomato trees, and that is because I noticed that there was something eating my tomatoes. So that's the thing with gardening. You have to be on top of things. You have to come into your garden every single day. You have to monitor your plants and take necessary action in order to protect your plants. So this is one way of protecting. So I'm trying to protect the tomatoes there. So the thing is, gardening does take a lot of effort, because it means every day you have to monitor your plants. If you've seen any pests being introduced, you have to deal with it. So I do organic gardening. So for example, if I see white flies or aphids, I use neem water to spray on the plants. Or there's a particular bug, take a picture of it so I can show you guys. But that is something that likes to suck the plant. So once I see it, I will kill it. Um, so yeah, it does take you having to help the plants. Once you protect them, the plants will do well. So that's just the nature of gardening. Okay guys, so let's do a little garden tour update, just to see how things are coming along. So here I planted a parsley and finely thyme in this pot. I also had a cilantro in here, but the cilantro wasn't doing so well and started to die, so I ended up putting the cilantro in the ground here. I hope it catches itself. I don't know why this started to happen to it. Over here I have a cucumber plant that I'm doing an experiment to see if it will grow in this bucket here using the cracky hydroponic method of growing. So we will keep monitoring that and see how it progresses. Over here you can see my lettuce is getting bigger. I have some in the pot here. These that I put under the tomato tree here, I don't find it's doing well. It's like it's not really growing. I don't know if it's maybe because the tomato trees provided too much shade, but anyway, we will see what happens with that. My kale here, my kale is getting big. My scythe, they're coming along. I just transplanted this basil that I rooted, so I put it here. I'm hoping it catches itself. My beans are coming along. I'm still trying to germinate some more beans, so hopefully that germinates. This is my carrot here. My carrot is getting big, and I have some seeds that I'm trying to germinate on this side here. It's proven to be a challenge. Germinating seeds are not easy. So this is my pepper plant here. As you can see, it's getting big, and they're little. Is it going to focus? There's some buds coming out here. I have my arugula getting big on this side here. This is another pepper plant. My pak choy, I've been harvesting my pak choy, so that's why it doesn't look full. This is a bok choy here. I love bok choy. This is a little lettuce that I have there. And these are the original tomato trees. We have a tomato here that is not ready to pick yet. Oh, I just noticed something on this tomato here. Don't know what's going on with that. But so that's this one. Then I have my other tomato trees here that are coming up. So if you look, you will see there's some fruit on it. I have some fruit here. I have some fruit at the bottom here as well. On this one, we have some fruit. This one here, I can see a baby fruit coming up. Oh, there's some fruit underneath here as well. See that? And then on this one, we have some fruit here. And the one in the back there, there's some fruit on that side as well. Right. So that's these tomato trees. Then we have another pepper here, some patchouli again. I also put some fine leaf thyme I transplanted here that someone gave me. We have another tomato tree on this side, but this one doesn't have any fruit on it. Oh yes, there's one, look. There's one fruit there. Let's pinch off this sucker here. We don't want you there. All right. I'm just hand pollinating it. This is how I get fruit on my tomatoes. Okay, so what do we have here? We have some peppers. Now, this pepper here, the leaves started to get crinkly, and I noticed that there was some sort of bug. So what I did, I pinched off the top. Now, by doing that, it will actually force the plant to bush out. But I did it because I saw the leaves were crinkly on top, right? So that's the peppers. We have little buds coming up there. And then here's my cabbage. The cabbage, look how huge. The cabbage is looking really big. This is the cabbage here. And then we have the lettuce. Of course, I harvest, so that's why it's not looking full. This is the lettuce here. And the basil is getting big. The dill, again, I harvest it as well. And we have our bush basil coming along here. On this side, I have two cabbages that I recently put them in the ground. So we have to wait for these to develop. Okay, now here with my papaya tree, now I'll tell you something. The papaya, I had fruit like on these lower limbs here, and just like what you see here on this side here, you see this fruit, like this fruit here. I saw that and I was like, great, we're gonna get some papayas. But then they dropped and I'm like, oh my goodness. So it seems as if it didn't get pollinated. So I was looking to see if I found a male flower so that I could hand pollinate the female flower, but I was not seeing any male flower on this tree. So anyway, I was like, okay. Actually, one day I just came and I just did this to the female flower with my hand, because I didn't see. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't see any active male flowers, or any male flowers for that matter, for me to pollinate the female. But I just decided to, forget about it. But then I noticed here now, like this papaya, it hasn't dropped and it looks like it's getting big. So I'm like, okay, well, this is a good sign. At least looks like I probably will get papaya from this tree, because I thought that, well, they will all just drop. And remember, guys, when I had cut off the crown on the papaya tree? So this is how it is here. But I'm going to monitor this because I'm noticing these papayas look like they're getting big. So maybe I will get some fruit and hopefully it doesn't drop. So that would be good. All right, let's go over here now. Oh, we have our hibiscus here. This one has closed already. This one's ready to die. And over here we have our tomatoes that germinated. So, ooh, I think I'm gonna have to cover this with something. I'm noticing something ate some of the leaves there. Okay, yeah, but anyway, so this is my tomatoes that I will probably have to cover it with something. All right, so that is our little garden update, guys. This is how everything is coming along and how everything looks. You can see in these smaller tomato trees, there fruit on it already. So that looks good. And I already pruned it, and of course I always pinch off the suckers and so forth.